this one off, buddy.
Oh, I can take it off now?
Yeah, in here.
And it's not good for me to be breathing like that.
I know.
I mean, it gets hard.
Oh.
Especially when you go up long hill to get here. Do I have to have this on now?
No, you're
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
I'll never steer you the wrong way, bro.
You have to ask one favor, though.
Okay.
You can hold up like a towel during so we can, when we're ready to begin, it'd be great.
Oh, beautiful.
Just hold it up so everybody can see it. We're ready to roll. All right. We're ready to roll. There we go. Thank you. Thank you, Ralph.
Well, there you see it. Whitmore, dirty saddle towel, all the way to victory in the Breeders' Cup Sprint. Congratulations. Saul, all your partners, Bob LaPenta, unable to be here today. Ron, trainer, but also owner on this horse. And Ron, I'm going to start with you first. Just such an emotional victory with this horse. 7 years old, 4 Breeders' Cup attempts, and third, second, and now the ultimate victory today.
We're very proud. You know, we give credit to the horse. I mean, I take care of a lot of horses, and none of them are as fast as Whitmore. So I can tell you that the horse does matter. We do everything we can do to try to get the most out of him and to make his job easier to perform well. But we're so grateful that the horse found us.
What has made him able to stay, at this level for such a long period of time?
It's easy. Well, I joke around, but if I don't have owners that believe in me and have priority in the horse first, it don't work. I can tell you that if I call Bob LaPenta, who is a gem, I mean, he's awesome. Or if I call Saul and say, hey, I want to skip a race, I don't get oh man, I really wanted to, or are you sure we can't? I get whatever you think, and that matters. That's the difference between doing the right thing and doing what you know and doing what somebody else wants you to do. So we think for the horse, and my clients are just, they deserve all the credit for allowing me to do what I want to do, and that's just do best by him.
And Saul, you all kind of bought into this horse at Gelding, later on in his career. Obviously a testament to you and your partners how much racing really means to you.
Yeah, I mean, with this horse, it's all racing. We obviously liked like what we had seen. We had didn't have any horses with Ron, so it was a chance for us to get to know him and get into his barn. Since then, we've had a few others, and this is just an incredible win. I mean, you own lots of horses, but very rarely do you find one that is a fighter like this guy with so much heart, and all the credit goes to Ron and his team and to Whitmore, because he's just, he's a warrior, and it was just amazing to see today.
He is a warrior. 38 starts. Ron, that just kind of goes back, I mean, gelding or not, to old school style of horse and horsemanship.
Well, we like to think that we do things the old school way, but we're also high tech. We do all the spas and all the vibrating plates and anything that we can do for therapy that makes his day better. I promise you, there's probably a young girl back at my barn that can't wait to do it. So he's got for a big old grumpy gelding, he's got a lot of girls wrapped around his finger.
He is a true fan favorite, and also a real family and house horse, and a family organization. Your team and Laura, your wife, who I remember meeting when you brought him to the Derby,
yeah.
And she's ridden him. And just tell us a little bit about the team behind Team Whitmore.
Well, we've got a groom that's been with him since he was 2, and whenever we brought him into the barn, we had to geld him because he liked to argue a lot, and he throws punches like Conor McGregor. I mean, he's like, he kicks, he does everything to try to bully you around. So keeping the same people is very important, and we've got the same therapy person, the same pony, the same everything, and we've allowed him to get his comfort. And we don't break his spirit and tell him that's bad or whatever. We just try to figure out a way to make his idea to want to do what we need to do.
And Saul, with this horse, so many good horses in your organization, but what makes him kind of special to you all?
Well, I think the fact that he's run as many times as you said. I mean, every time they run, you start to kind of build a closer relationship with the horses, and as you invest time, as an owner, really watching every race and getting ready for every race. he's I know how much he's meant to Ron and Laura and their barn, and that, that's really what it's all about. I mean, being part of horses like this that are so impactful in so many people's lives. I mean, it doesn't get much better. This is one of the first horses we owned with Bob LaPenta. Real close with his racing manager, John Panicott. They do a terrific job, and has become really good friends with them, and have bought a bunch of horses together with them since this horse, and most of it had to do with Whitmore. So brought a lot of people together. Again, truly a special talent and an unbelievable job by Ron.
And Ron, I have some questions from the press box for you.
All right.
This has been a challenging year, but 2 years ago, you were fighting for your life with autoimmune disease. And during that time period, you credited horses with the means of saving your life. And all accolades aside, what does Whitmore mean to that and to you at a personal level?
Oh, he's everything. He's, you get a horse like this, and all horses. I mean, we drive across the country all the time just to see horses, But a horse like this that tries and fights and gives you everything consistently, you want to be there to make sure. I'm not saying that in one of these bigger barns that he wouldn't have performed beautifully and done just as well, but I am saying that Whitmore in a big outfit may not have received the exact attention that he needed to get there. So I use that as motivation. If I'm not there to do my job, who's going to do it?
Well, that was great motivation for you, and certainly, for your health. And how are you?
I feel great.
Nothing like
great.
a win in a Breeders'
No,
Cup
it's-
race to
yeah.
help that too.
Yeah, I know. Right after the race, they come up and they want to do interviews, and for a little bit, for a guy that's lung compromised, I'm sitting over here trying to go, okay, first you catch your breath, and then you can talk, and then when you put these what I call life restrictors on me, then it makes it that much harder to get air through there. So it's good.
You mentioned in the initial interview, this is another question from the press box, someone who had recently passed. Can you clarify the name and elaborate on who that was and the relationship?
So I came from Arkansas. Geographically, it's not the spot to where you start a stable and you get a head start. There's somebody's kid right now that has decided that something else he didn't want to do or he wanted to do he wasn't good at. He's going to come back and give him more of a shot than we were. But there was a guy that believed in me. He saw me and he's like, the way you touch your horses, the way you talk about your horses, I want you. He stayed with me 21 years, through good times, through 9% years, through 22% years. And I give him a piece of this horse. Whenever a horse that we bought, a Malibu Moon Colt, turned out to have EPM and wasn't going to perform, I give him a piece of this horse before his first race. And he's ridden every race with me. And after the forego, I got a phone call from his wife, who we're friends with. Obviously, we're like family, but told me that he had passed away. And I was like, it's like losing a father. Someone that believed in you and was there no matter what. You get your ass whooped. He comes back and he goes, hey, we'll get him next time. Don't worry about it. Where other people would take their horses and leave, he stayed with me. So I'm very loyal. And I'm so happy that I did it for Saul, so happy that we did it for Bob, and I'm so happy that we did it for Mr. Fred.
Fred, what's Fred's name?
Fred Edick.
Edick.
Yeah, he owned a piece of a bunch of horses, but he was a dude. He was cool.
Well, apparently you had someone up there riding along with Whitmore
I guarantee
today.
you. I guarantee you.
And then lastly, 7 years old, still going strong. Do we stay in training?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
we'll let him tell us.
I mean, I was brought up where I'm from, the border of Arkansas, Oklahoma. There's a quarter horse track called Blue Ribbon Downs. And to be the fastest in the world, you have to beat the fastest in the world. And today we're the fastest. Now, there's others going to run faster times and going to get more accolades. But today, this is the fastest horse in the world. And I see no reason, as long as Whitmore wants to do it, I see no reason to do anything but what he wants to do.
Welcome. Oh, I'm sorry, Jenny. I didn't know you were there.
The way the track's been playing, and you had said with the Phoenix that, it was a speed favoring track and you were hoping it wouldn't be this go-round, but were you all concerned going into this race, given that he is an avowed come-from-behind sprinter?
Yeah, I was. And it was all I could do to not say, screw it, let's just see what he'll do up front, But, it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks, and I knew that some of the favorites in here were favorites because of things that went their way, and I thought maybe if things, would go a little bit, maybe we could outrun the bias of the track, and that's the whole thing, is being able to outrun. And hats off to Ired. I mean, getting on a horse that's 15-1 and having some country guy go, hey, we believe in this horse, and just do this, and don't worry about him kicking before he goes in the gates. That's a good thing. And don't worry about, if he sees another horse and he tries to go to his right, he just wants to bite that horse. And me telling him all this shit, he's got to think that, look at me like I got two heads. But instead, he listens to me. He listened to my wife, who's my assistant gallop person. He listened to Greta. He let us all tell him. And then he went out there and he applied it. And it's like when someone sings the song the way you want, it just worked out. And thank God and thank Whitmore.
All right. Go enjoy. Congratulations,
Thank you.
Ron.
Thanks.
Saul, congratulations.
I'm going to take this. Is that all right?
You may.
You gotta leave
Absolutely.
30 cents. $2 I got it. You can prompt me, boss.